58.5%. Every active auto loan on the road in America right now worth less than what's still owed on it, underwater. That's not the people who bought wrong, that's the road. More than half the cars rolling past you today owe more than they're worth. A year ago, it was 53%. Now it's 58.5 per Cox Automotive. The line is moving, and it's moving one direction. Here's the part the dealer skips. You didn't get unlucky. You got handed a loan term built to keep you under the line for years. I'm Frank. I'm dropping these daily right now. Subscribe, and tomorrow's math finds you. Today we walk 3 steps down. Let's go. So let's name the thing first, in plain English. Underwater just means the payoff balance on your loan is higher than what the car would sell for today. You owe more than the thing is worth. The bank's number is bigger than the dealer's number, and it sits there doing nothing. Until the day you want out. Sell it, trade it, total it on a rainy Tuesday. You don't walk away clean. You walk away still owing. The gap doesn't evaporate when the car leaves. It rides along into whatever you do next. We're going to climb down 3 steps. Step 1, the loan term that hides the hole. Step 2, how fast the car falls. Step 3, what happens when you roll it forward. Step 1, the number on the contract that nobody reads out loud. The length of the loan, not the price, not the rate. The number of months. The average new car loan now runs 69 months, almost 6 years. The amount financed, $43,900. The payment, $770 a month. Those are Experian's numbers from the first quarter of 2026. Not a guess, not a worst case. The middle of the road, $770 a month looks doable. That's the trick, and it's the whole trick. Nobody in the finance office asks what the car actually costs. They ask what monthly number feels comfortable to you. Answer that one question instead of the total, and you'll sign almost anything they slide across the desk. Stretch the term and the payment drops, so they stretch it. Loans of 85 months and longer climb to 3.3% of new deals this quarter, up from 2.9% a year ago. The long term is growing because it sells, and the 84-month loan, the 7-year car note, went from 13.4% of deals in 2019 to a record 19.8% by 2025. Edmunds, via Reuters, 1 in 5 new cars, financed for 7 years. Here's the quiet part. A long term doesn't shrink the debt by $1. It only slows how fast you pay it down. The payment feels light because the months are spread thin. But early on, most of what you send goes to interest, not principal. The whole feels slower than the car loses value. 3 hours with Experian's report and a loan calculator. Every number's in the description. Tap the timestamp if you don't believe it. This is where the bank's math and your math split right down the middle. The bank has exactly one question it cares about. Will this person keep making the payment? 69 months of $770 a month clears that bar easily, so they approve it. Their job is done, it won't default. Your math asks something the bank never bothers to run. Not, can I make the payment this month, but if I want out of this car in 3 years, where do I actually stand? The bank stops at won't default. Your math has to start exactly where theirs ends, and nobody hands you that calculation. That gap is where this whole video lives. The loan was built to clear the bank's question, and only the bank's question. It was never once designed to answer yours. Everything that goes wrong from here flows out of that one fact. You and the lender solving 2 different problems with the same signature. Step 2, the car itself, and how fast it walks away from the loan you signed for it. Here's the honest version, because the popular one is wrong. You've heard a car loses 60% in 5 years. That's a rule of thumb, not a measurement. The real average across 950,000 actual sales is 41.8% IC cars 2026. 42% over 5 years sounds survivable. The problem isn't the size, it's the shape. The car loses the biggest chunk early, roughly a fifth of its value in year 1 alone, and keeps falling fastest up front. Meanwhile, your loan barely touches the balance in those same months. 2 clocks, different speeds. Picture 2 lines on one chart. One is what the car is worth, falling fast and early. The other is what you still owe, sliding down slow on a 7-year term. For the first 3+ years, the owed line sits above the worth line, that space between them that is underwater. And some people got hit by something worse than the curve: timing. Look at the federal data on used car prices. BLS series for used cars. January 2020 went from 136, peaked at 207 in late 2021, a 52% spike. Then it fell. By early 2026, that same index dropped to 177, down 14% from the peak. Anyone who bought at the top of that bubble watched the resale value crater out from under a loan that didn't move. They didn't overspend. the market move.
And you don't have to take my word for the spike. That used car index is public. The BLS series link is right under the video, and it's the same query I ran to pull these numbers. Anyone can check it.
This is the diagnostic moment of the whole video, so hear it clean. Being underwater is not proof you bought too much car or that you were careless. It's the plain arithmetic of a fast-falling value meeting a slow-falling balance. Put any normal buyer in that loan, and the same gap opens. The structure does this on its own. The dealer's screen shows you the monthly number, glowing and friendly. It does not draw you those two lines crossing. It never shows the day the worth line dips under the owed line. That's the math your dealer doesn't show you, and it's the whole story. Now, the counter-argument I hear every single time, but a reliable car holds its value, so I'm fine. Some do hold better. Trucks and hybrids fall slower, around 35% over 5 years. Electric falls harder, near 57%. But here's the catch. Holding value a little better still doesn't beat a 7-year balance that barely moves in the early years. The term is the lever that puts you under. The badge on the hood is not. Quick pause. Drop the number you've been afraid to run. The payoff on your own loan versus what the car would actually sell for today. Most upvoted becomes a future video. Step 3, the part that turns one underwater car into a habit you can't see, the rollover. Here's what people actually do when they're underwater and want a different car. They don't pay off the gap first, most can't. They trade the car in while still owing on it, and the dealer rolls that leftover debt straight into the next loan. The hole doesn't close, it changes addresses. And right now it's near a record. 30.9% of trade-ins on new cars carried negative equity in the first quarter of 2026. The highest share of any quarter since the start of 2021. That's Edmunds. Almost 1 in 3 people trading in is already underwater. And the line has been climbing, not bouncing. 28%, then 29%, then 30.9% across 3 straight quarters. Keep these two numbers in separate boxes because they get blurred together everywhere online and it matters. The 58% is every active loan on the road, underwater at any given moment. The 31% is only the people sitting in the chair trading a car in. 2 different pools of people. We're not adding them together, and neither should anyone else. Now, the size of the average hole. The typical underwater trade-in carries $7,183 of negative equity, up 42% in 5 years. 26% of these folks roll more than $10,000. 9% roll more than $15,000. $7,183. That's the average money you owe on a car you no longer own. Riding shotgun into a loan on a car that's already losing value the moment you drive it off. And the payment shows it. The people rolling negative equity into a new loan pay $932 a month, a record, about $160 above the typical payment. Same income, bigger note, newer car, older debt, stacked. Why does this work on smart people? It's how the brain files money. Richard Thaler, the Nobel laureate, working from 1980 on, showed people sort money into separate mental buckets, each judged by its own rule. The monthly payment lands in the "I can handle this" bucket. The total debt never gets weighed.
Got a different number on your spreadsheet? A better trade-in offer? A faster payoff? Drop it below. I read every comment.
And here's the honest break on the panic, because I'm not in the business of selling doom. Are people defaulting in some giant wave? No. The New York Fed's own first quarter 2026 report says it plainly. Transitions into early delinquency held steady for auto loans. People are still making the payment. So this isn't a crash story, and I won't pretend it is. Total auto debt did hit an all-time high, $1.69 trillion, also New York Fed record heavy. But the danger in front of you isn't mass default. It's quieter, the slow drift of owing more than you own. The 3 steps in one picture, a long term that fills the hole slowly, a value curve that empties it fast, and a trade-in that scoops the leftover debt into the next loan instead of closing it out. Each step alone is survivable. Stacked together, they're a spiral. 3 steps, 1 spiral. Now let's run it as one person just to see the machine move. Not a statistic, an illustration. Call it 45,000 financed, 7.9%, 84 months. The average underwater trade-in sat at exactly that profile, 7.9% APR, 90% of them stretched to 72 months or longer. 1 person, 2 possible roads. Watch what the same paycheck does in each universe. A. You keep this loan and trade at year 4, right where the average person does. The car's worth has dropped past 40%. Your balance has barely cracked the surface because the early years are mostly interest. You're underwater roughly 7 grand of it. Universe B, same car, same income, but a shorter term and a real down payment. The balance falls fast enough to stay above water by year 3. When you want out, you walk away. Clean, same driver, different arithmetic. The difference between Universe A and Universe B isn't discipline, and it isn't income. Same paycheck in both. It's 2 things only, the length of the loan and the money you put down at the start. 2 levers, both decided in the finance office in about 90 seconds. This is the part that should sting a little, so I'll say it straight. The system isn't broken. It's working exactly the way it was designed to. The long term exists for one reason: to make an expensive car feel monthly affordable to a regular household. And it succeeds. But affordable this month and solvent when you sell are 2 completely different questions, and the loan only ever answers the first one. 90% of underwater trade-ins were sitting on terms of 72 months or longer. 43% stretched to a full 84. Edmunds, first quarter 2026. The long term and the underwater car travel together. Now, I'll be straight about what that does and doesn't prove. It doesn't prove the term alone sinks you. Low down payments, the speed the car falls. Old debt rolled in, they push too. The long term is the biggest amplifier, not the only villain. Counter-argument number 2, and it's the most honest one. I needed the lower payment. Stretching the term was the only way I could afford this car. Fair, I hear it, but that's the tell, not the solution. If the only way into the car is a payment that keeps you underwater for years, the honest reading is that the car simply costs more than you can carry today. The long term didn't make it affordable. It hid the real price. Counter-argument number 3, the one everybody leans on. Look, everyone has a car payment. It's just normal, sure, but normal and solvent are not the same word. 58% of the road being underwater doesn't make being underwater safe. It only makes it common. And common is exactly how a structural trap stays invisible. When half the people around you are in the same water, nobody thinks to look down. The 2 a.m. version of this is real. You lie awake doing the arithmetic you didn't sit down to do. That's Sunday night math. That's the whole talking. If this helped, like it, comment the payoff versus worth gap on your own car, subscribe daily right now. Tomorrow's math lands the moment you wake up. So here's where the data actually points, a concrete line you can use. Before you sign anything, run the payoff balance against the resale value on the same day, 3 years out. If stretching the term is the only thing making the payment work, the car is too expensive for you today. And if you're already under the line, the most important move is don't roll it. Rolling the gap into the next loan is the exact mechanism that put 31% of trade-ins where they are. Drive the car longer, throw every extra dollar at the principal. Time closes the gap for free. And here's the lever almost nobody pulls. Keep the car past the loan. The average vehicle on American roads is now near 13 years old. A record. A paid-off car doesn't get less reliable the day after the last payment clears. It gets cheaper. No note. Lower insurance. Gap closing. Cap the term, not the payment. The data says keep new car financing to 60 months and put real money down, enough that your balance stays near the value, not chasing it. Run it before the finance office, not after. Let's bring it home. 58.5%. That's exactly where we started. More than half the road underwater. Now you know what that number actually is. Not a country full of reckless buyers. It's a loan term that fills the hole slower than the car empties it. 3 numbers to carry out. 58% the road, 7,183. The average hole, 932 the payment when you roll it forward instead of closing it. Remember those 3, and you'll never read a payment the same way. You're not underwater because you're reckless. You were sold a term, not a car. By the time you want to trade, the math already made you a debtor. No mistake required on your end. The structure did it, knowing that is how you stop signing it. So before the next finance office talks you into a comfortable monthly number, draw the 2 lines yourself. Math doesn't negotiate. Don't try.